All right, so this is going to be pretty wild already. This is a sample of my own worm castings from one of my bins, and this is actually my nursery bin. So these are my youngsters that I tend to leave alone for a while, and there's not much. There's already something going at it here. That's a nematode. I'm at 40x, and that's an SP4. So I'm gonna go into 100 magnification on this just to see if it is a, yes, that's a nematode. This dilution is crazy. This is a 1 to 10, and I'm gonna back it back up. So right off rip, we have a nematode. Look at the aggregation in this stuff. This is a hell of a sample. Now my breeder bin, I mean not my breeder, my nursery bin, they're easy. They don't go crazy. They compost slowly, which again I think gives time for the there's another nematode. Gives time for the castings to establish. So what am I looking at right here? There's another nematode there. And there's a lot going on here. Let's go to 100. I'm gonna have to further dilute this. So we've got nematode there, but what is that? That's what I want to see. Let me pull that up. Something's moving there as well. What are you? I don't know if that's like a ciliate or I can't make that out. It's too. Yeah, it could be either a testate or a ciliate or something like that. Let me lower the. Now this bed, these beds are well taken care of. Again, I feed them. I dust the soils with basalts and minerals, and it's not just azomite. I'll use whatever I have that is worth going into the bed. They're biologically fed, especially during the summer, because I have to bring them indoors, and I prefer not to feed them too much fruit and vegetables. Although I keep the diversity in that, but it's very controlled because it's in my house. Is that yet another nematode? Or nah, I can't tell. I'm gonna have to further dilute this. Oh, that's a macro. Let me go to 400. I think that's like a microanthropod, or actually two of them. Shredders, maybe. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to take my test tube and then dilute into another test tube because I went all the way up to the top on it, and there's just gonna be too much mist here. So you can imagine, right? All these castings that I'm doing samples of. Maybe this kind of put in perspective why I feel the way I do when I'm looking at castings and saying, they're just not right because this is what I'm used to. And even, yeah, this is a monster bin. I've fungally fed them, and they're already almost ready to start breeding. This particular little group. There's a fungal hyphae there, but everything is just a big blur. Let me back out. This 400 is too close. So yeah, I'm gonna further dilute this and then try to stitch the videos together. I haven't done that yet. I'm sure there'll be a learning curve, but let me do that because it's just too much happening here. So I'm gonna dilute the 10 time dilution by. I'll start with 5, and then and then see what that looks like. So I'll get back. All right, slide 2, 15 times dilution at least. And man, I'm just nailing these nematodes. So again, minimum of 15 times dilution. I'm at SP4, so I'm at a 40 time magnification. And this thing's looking crazy still. Crazy. Let's go to 100 and see if we can kick it with one of these nematodes. See if it lets me zoom in on them a little bit. That's a big chunk of biochar. That all black carbon. That's just pure biochar. Here's this other one. Tons of aggregate, man. All this micro aggregates. It's what makes soil. All these little, almost like clearish brown. This is microbes just gluing themselves to each other and to organic matter, and ultimately that is what soil is in a nutshell. That's what makes your soil fluffy. That's what gives you the aggregation for airflow and water. And these nematodes just going to town on bacteria. I'm at 100x. I'll try at 400, but he's moving too fast to even try to entertain it. Maybe he's in and out. There's levels to this shit. You know, there's depth here involved. So I could sit here with the scope and try to keep up with them. But this is not a nematode show. I have tons of nematodes that I can show extremely close. Maybe I'll share some of those videos, or maybe I'll make a nematode rich soil. Let's see what else is going on. That's kind of got a cool tinge color to it, like that right there. I want to put epifluorescent lighting on that and see if it, what color that goes, if any. Huh, that must be like some kind of plant matter or something. With epifluorescent, I'm looking for anything that glows that bright. That bright. It's usually phosphorus, phosphate crystals. I'm guessing that yellow is more of an organic matter type thing, and you'll get reds sometimes. I see ciliates. I mean, I'm not gonna chase them again. I'm only at 100x. There's already too much to look at. Tons of hyphae. So you got a fungal bin. Again, this was a nursery bin. So they don't eat as much. Not right away, at least. I want to try to zoom in on that a little bit. Yeah, they don't eat as much right away. So it takes a little time for that bin to grow out, which I don't mind at all. It's slow maintenance, and it gives time for everything to settle in. And I'm not trying to harvest it. There's another nematode. Let's see if I could get on this one, because this guy is just, it's either dead or it's just chilling. And I can actually find out. I can hit him up. Yo, these guys don't tend to like the epifluorescent lighting, so if I do that, he doesn't even react to it. That thing might be dead. But look at the mouth parts on that. That is bacterial eating nematode. It looks like it has lips. And then inside of its body, it's just. And then look at fungal spores, fungal spores. I mean, there's shit everywhere here. This is what castings should be looking like. And keep in mind again, this is at least a 15-time dilution. So this should be what you can expect from castings, from fresh worm castings that have been taken care of and fed. I get it. Sometimes I'll go a little extra with these worms. I have different bins, put them on different diets, but that's all because I use the different types of biology. They feed on different things, and then ultimately I like to take samples from every bin and put together a monster stack of castings. I don't know what that is. This here, but looks like there's microbes in it. These minerals, these big rocks, they look these things here. Those are minerals. Those are I do put sometimes azomite, sometimes basalt, sometimes sand from my yard. I have a lot of sand here in Florida, but the worms use that to grind down whatever they're having, whatever they're digesting. So definitely want some type of rock dust in there, and this can still be diluted, man. If you're trying to quantify numbers, there's another nematode going for it too. Like he's pissed, and I don't know if he's stuck. If he's stuck, or because I don't think they anchor themselves. And I know there is fungi, some type of hyphae that'll actually catch these things, and this is like the whole world is like dog eat dog. It's just like a different level of the wild. These are the predators, and you have everything else. Just gets caught up in that nutrient cycle. And it's like without one, the other can't survive. But these microbes, they're a lot smarter than I originally could even imagine. I could sit here and just observe them and watch them fight for position and try to outwit each other, and all they want to do is eat and reproduce. That's is that a no? That's the same one. That seems to be. Yeah, there's another one. Damn, that's what I'm talking about. What is that already? 4 or 5 nematodes, not including the first sample. And then then I'm not even pointing out this stuff that I'm seeing everywhere. These are testate amoebas, man. I think that was a testate amoeba. It's just a lot going on, so I don't know if I lost it there. Yeah, I would guess that was some type of protozoa. Maybe it got crushed or something. What is that? Hmm, not sure. Back it up and let's see if we can find that nematode again and piss him off with the lights. Those little silly flying. Those little things fly. I think he was up here somewhere in this corner. Maybe, maybe not. Hmm. Oh well. So definitely a great sample. Yeah, more biochar in here. It's just carbon. I don't even think I added char to this. Original bedding. I try to leave the nurseries alone just because, again, you can hurt them. You see that there? That make it look like fungal hyphae, but look how far up that goes. I think that might be cyanobacteria. I mean, actinobacteria. Let me see. Why am I losing my spot when I do that? There we go. Yeah, you see that is like a false fungi. There's really no septa there. But if you look closely, you see life in it, like biology in it. You see bacteria inside of it, and this is a saprophytic. So it is a, you know, breaks down organic matter and it adds to this whole nutrient cycle, man. And that's what matters. But I would definitely say that that's not, well, you can never be definite, but if I had to guess, that's not fungi. That is actinomycetes, some sort. Uh, the beneficial kind, I would guess. That's another thing is that worms will stabilize these. Worms will clean out pathogens, I believe. They usually leave you with a pH at around 6.8 to 7.2 or 3. Usually what my bins come in at. So just a little lesson on worms. I've reached out to some of my local gardeners slash worm growers, for their own gardens. Everyone that I know doesn't do this for resale. They do it to amend their garden beds. They're just serious enough growers. Look at this thing. Let me see if I can get in on that. Yeah, that would be cool if I can get a closer look at that thing. Where the hell did it go? There's a big ass testate amoeba there. I don't even gotta highlight that. Yeah, that thing was moving too fast for me to. It looked pretty cool, whatever it was. Still too small to identify. For me, that is. Well, another testate. Yeah. Hmm. Anyway, all right, let me try to wrap this up. I get caught up in this shit, and an hour later, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go now. I ain't gonna do it. What is that? I'm not leaving. Fuck it, I'm not leaving. It's every time I look somewhere else, there's something else to look at. There's tons of stuff. Imagine the shit that I don't know about. I can't wait till they get this our soil database up that Matt Powers is working on, and we can start uploading some of these videos and be able to compare videos with people pointing out what they know, and being able to better identify stuff because it's tough to identify shit when you're learning. There's not many people that I know that I can ask. So then you start trying to search through books, and some of these books you got to pay for. A lot of them are expensive. And you got people like all these amateur microscopy groups, like David Seymour. I'm about to buy his book. Super cool guy. He's hanging out there in amateur microscopy, and every time I go look for an identification, he just nails it. But not only does he nail it, he adds a hand sketched drawing of it. I'll come to find out he's an author, and I guess it's been his lifelong work, and he's out of Australia, and you can actually get his book. You would have to ask him and give him your address, but so he can tell you how much it's going to be for shipping. But just the simple fact that you got someone out there on an amateur microscopy group answering everyone's questions, that's honorable, man. He's about it, He spends his whole life doing this. That's I started this late. And it's almost like now I feel pressed for time. I want to try to learn as much as I can, and the only way I can do it is by putting in the work. So there's another amoeba. Anyway, here we go again. Another amoeba. Damn. Yeah, I'm just glad that I found this. I'm fortunate that I found my passion in life. So I wake up breathing it, sleeping it, speaking on it, wanting to teach it. And as I learn to make these amendments, I'm wanting to spread the love on that too, just that people understand that this stuff can be done with a little bit of work, just a little bit. It's fungal. But, why don't we learn this in school? I didn't. I skipped, well, I skipped half my classes, but this wasn't there. I would have definitely been interested, but look at that. That's like an egg. You know what? I saw this the other day. This thing right here. And I try to save the slide. I try to put it like in a little humidity box, and then come back a couple hours later because there was something visibly moving inside of it, and I actually have it recorded. And maybe I'll make like a little short of it or something. But I observed it for about 20, 30 minutes, and then I had to leave. And when I came back and looked at the slide, to my surprise, some of the slide was still holding moisture, but the part that I was trying to capture was dried out, and that egg looked like it had already either fizzed away or busted open at some point. Look at all these spores. Look at all this activity in spores here. That looks like a spore. That's a spore. That's a spore. That probably is a spore being tugged on. All these things you see moving, some of it's not alive. It's just biology clinging to it. Oh, that's alive. Whatever that is. Right there. Yeah, this has been a cool sample. Cool worm bin. I'll end up going back into this one. What is that? Oh, that looks like something that just got cut in half. Right? Like a pill or something. An egg. No idea what I'm looking at. Sometimes, most of the time. I'm gonna feed this some bat guano. Look at that. What is up with that spore? There's just so many. Oh, hmm. All right. I think now officially I need to walk away and go do something a little less productive, I guess, because this is the only thing I want to be doing right now. Anyway, all right. Officially, I'm out.